Hi, this is Kelvin up here, and this is my multi-morbidity presentation. As we can see, for the history and background of multi-morbidity, also known as multi-morbidity, is known as the co-occurrence of two or more chronic conditions. There are two main groups of the measures of multi-morbidity. The first group of measures is constituted by just a simple count from various lists of chronic conditions. The second group of measure introduces a weighting for included chronic conditions by creating a weighted index. Now here we can see the data. We present the data, which includes the number of patients, and also after cleaning the data, the number of records that was used in the analysis is all present. And as you can see, Charleston scoring on the left and versus likelihood ratio right on the right. For ontological adjustments, we measured the mortality of 6 months. The likelihood of mortality in 6 months, while calculated for each diagnosis for the number of diagnoses that there is. So as you can see on the right, there's ICD-9 code that was used, and on the left is what was produced after running the code. For body system adjustment, we can see that it's clarifying how diagnosis codes are used as markers of progression. So on the right, we can see the different codes that was used and the different body that was used. For example, nervous system diseases. The others are a little hard to see, but infections, all these are present. And on the left, in order to find the body system adjustment, we had to select top 10 ID, the actual, and you can see all these, the max, and as a score into temp 2 from the body systems, which were all grouped by the ID. For progression for ID 502733, it's actually the code right below. I'm sorry for not highlighting it. The code right below the rows affected. And after running that code is where you find the progression for the ID. Now for initial hospitalization for HIDX 84.5, we can see, for example, infectious almost at median. And the highest one at the moment is defined conditions, which is a little past median, halfway between median and high. HIDX at 83.66, we can see a progression as it starts to increase. For example, circulatory system is almost at high, defined conditions almost at high, and supplemental classification is almost at high. Now HIDX at 85.8, we can see circulatory system past high, almost at very high, while on the other hand, defined conditions past very high, which and supplemental classification is almost that high. Now the date of death for HIDX 85.92, we can see similar data when it comes to circulatory systems at almost very high, and same as before, divine conditions is past very high, and supplemental classification is almost at very high. Now when we compare the accuracy for multi-morbidity, we can see a 0.86, whilst Charleston was 0.06. And we can see that on the graph on the right. And to discuss why one index is preferred over the other, it seemed as if the multi-morbidity index was a bit much more accurate compared to the other. Charleston, the percentages obviously outnumber the other options when it comes to which was much more accurate. Because if we go back, we can see right here that multi-morbidity is 0.86 compared to 0.06. So all that, having a percentage that will outnumber the other options, has the chance of being preferred over the other. Thank you.